Welcome to the Power Chamber Podcast.
The only PCP that races to the finish.
Yeah, topical.
Yes, topical.
So we have finally, at long last...
Yeah, we took a long break.
Yeah.
First of all, before we get into anything, we needed a break from this show.
Yeah.
There was just a lot of stuff that we needed to take in with the Dai Ranger, Kaku Ranger, and O Ranger just back to back to back. Well,
yeah.
It was a lot. It was a lot. So
it was, yeah.
We needed to take a little break. What were we doing? We watched the third season of Troll Hunters.
Yeah.
Caught up on the
That's
Steverse.
what we were doing, yeah. Caught up on Steven Universe.
Yeah.
A bunch of different things, just kind of make...
a ton of stuff. Saw some movies.
We needed to at least reset, recharge.
Yeah. Take a break.
For this one, at least.
For this one. But we did start and get into... what was it? Gekisou Sentai Carranger.
Yeah.
Or, sorry, Carranger! That's how you have to say it.
Yeah.
No matter what the situation is. It's a rev up.
It's a bit. Yeah, no, they go all the way with the car idea.
Yeah.
At least
they go all the way with most of their ideas. Because it is a very funny show.
Yeah, no, this is really on point.
When Nick told me that it was going to be a parody, I was kind of off board with it, you know?
Yeah.
Because the parody that we saw was Ninja Storm, and I didn't have a good time watching Ninja Storm. I don't think
that's a parody, but that's a different thing.
Yeah, that's a different thing.
I think that's Disney's arrogance, and we can we can make a Power Ranger season.
Not easy.
It's not.
It ain't easy being cheesy.
But we've already talked about that. But so let's get into this.
To the adaptation.
This is this was kind of weird to watch,
to get into,
because
refreshing.
It is so much of a parody, and
refreshing after
Turbo
Ninja Steel
isn't, typically regarded as like a classic series.
Yeah.
We'll get that next time.
Season 3.
But yeah, no, this was a very good change of pace from Super Ninja Steel and all that other stuff, especially coming from the terrible comedy.
Mm-hmm.
The whole Victor and Monty thing. This show actually does know how to do comedy.
Yeah, really well.
Yeah.
Particularly the Rangers. Like, they all have a really good give and take between each other. There was never, none of them particularly stand out as, odd or, this is the straight one, the straight man. Yeah. Yeah,
I guess that's true. You don't really have a straight man. I mean, I guess the closest one you get is with the Blue Centurion.
Yeah.
And even then, he's
Signal Man.
It's totally weird. But
International Police Space Force, or Intergalactic.
Intergalactic Police Force from the planet of police. Yeah.
It is funny.
This show is ridiculous.
It's out there.
It's absolutely insane.
Yeah.
And man, does that make it much more of an entertaining watch than O Ranger.
Oh yeah, definitely. O Ranger, just again, we were kind of burned out, I think, after Kaku Ranger.
You think so?
I think so.
I don't know. I thought we were pretty game. Well. But I certainly started to feel, at least, that the
repetitiveness.
Well, not necessarily that it's repetitive.
That's what I was getting.
Very bland,
formulaic.
Because that's how I view O Rangers, just kind of bland with these characters that don't really come alive to me.
Yeah. Car Ranger, on the other hand, does have these huge characters because they're over exaggerated.
Yeah.
And
they're
a whole big joke. Supposed to be funny. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's a whole episode devoted to Kyosuke. No. Yes?
Yes.
Kyosuke? I don't remember. Kyosuke. He
Who's our Red Ranger.
Yeah, that's the Red Ranger. He gets told by Signal Man, the Blue Centurion, that he's the leader and he needs to take up responsibility.
It wasn't the Blue Centurion. It was the other guy.
It's the Phantom Ranger.
Yeah.
That's right. What do they call him?
VRV Master,
VRV
Lone
Master.
Wolf of the Cosmos. It's great because he's
the Punisher.
What I love about it is that
Ghost Rider or something.
This show doesn't just parody Sentai. I mean, it's basically more of a jokey version of Sentai.
Yeah.
But it does, parody a bunch of different other things, like anime. specific anime tropes.
Yeah, we get a ton of Sixth Rangers in this show for some reason.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Signal Man, the Phantom Ranger, and then there's a Turbo White Ranger that I never knew existed until I saw this show.
Again, this is the whole thing about, the Flower Rangers. I just don't know why. I just don't know why you don't use stuff like this. I mean, that one I kind of get because it's a magical girl thing, and you can't really make that work.
But I mean, we can get a suit,
Yeah, you could have made one.
The hardest part would be to design the helmet. Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, they did it before.
Yeah, they've done it before.
Did it after that, but yeah.
Or we could do what they did previously and take a ranger from a different show. Why not?
Well, I don't think Sentai does that, or at least that's not true because they do reuse monster costumes a lot.
Yeah,
that's something I've started to notice.
All right, do you want to talk about the villains?
Sure, yeah.
Dynamo, Zelmoda, and Glutch.
Yes,
those are the main three, and they're not really. They don't have like a tier system. They're all just kind of the same. They're all kind of in charge.
Because Gynemo's supposed to be the leader.
The big bad of the season. That's Dynamo. What was his turbo counterpart?
Rygor. Or Rygog.
I don't know.
Rygog.
I didn't see the show. But the point is...
Yeah, but you saw the movie.
Yeah, I saw the movie. Zelmoda and Elgar are almost the same character. Yeah, it's very strange.
It's weird,
but it's super cool though. Yeah. To see that transformation. The show, as far as I can tell, is about a biker gang that these guys are associated with that go around the cosmos in their Death Star bar.
Yeah,
and blow up planets because one of the hookers thinks it looks pretty.
Well, that's the initial premise.
We do go places with that.
We find out a bit later, why they're actually destroying planets. It's stupid, but it's funny. It's supposed to be funny. It's supposed to be
none of this is supposed to be taken seriously.
Well, some of it's not.
Weird. That we take little breaks where we do serious stuff, like storytelling and stuff, and I'm like, I don't know if you can make me care.
There's multi-parters that halfway we throw through in there. Season. That's like, this is important thing.
Dapu has a backstory. The mentor character that they're associated with. Mentor character.
His whole planet is destroyed.
Yeah, he's Mick. With his family. That's his backstory.
Well, no, he's Mick. You remind me a lot of Keeper, at least from the look.
The look, is definitely very Keeper.
Up until he went to the John Cena Word Life costume that he was wearing.
Yeah, Zonnet,
Stop wearing the robe.
The hooker. Speaking of looks,
okay,
Zonnet the hooker is supposed to be the counterpart for not Astronema. What's her name? Divatox.
At least I think that's the idea they were going for.
Yeah, I think that's supposed to be the idea. Yeah, and they underwent a character design, obviously. Yeah, because it's a corset that she's wearing.
Well, yeah, but
it's
hot
glued on there.
It's not like the Divatox costume was.
It's not, but. That's what I'm saying. They went under a redesign and still made that chick look like that.
Yeah. It's weird.
I mean, hey, whatever.
And, points to them for actually making her the big bad.
Yeah, definitely.
Zonet's just kind of there.
Zonet's just kind of, off to the side. She's Gynemo's arm candy.
Yeah, pretty much.
What we're supposed to get from that.
Well, because it's supposed to be like a... it's supposed to be like a Poisandra type of relationship.
Yeah, that's
they're
definitely
gonna get married.
Sledge and Poisandra. That's a great analogy.
It's not fully that because they're not exclusive.
Yeah, no, because she's a prostitute.
That's not how they treat it.
Or a stripper, I guess, is what the implication is. But the villains, the monsters and stuff, they're usually just huge helmet, monster designed helmets with street clothes.
Yeah, they're very cartoonish.
And sometimes gloves, sometimes not. It just depends. Yeah. We didn't have a budget.
We had that day.
The director got drunk. I don't know.
Yeah, but they was this intergalactic biker gang. They're trying to destroy the Earth.
Yeah.
Basically, Dapu comes down. And he's like, I will not let this happen to another planet. So he forms the Car Ranger.
The intergalactic power of automobiles.
The karmic power.
Karmic power.
Yeah, of automobiles, of the stars, because constellations. It's very weird.
It's so entertaining, just to kind of poke fun at all these tropes that we've seen throughout the years.
To make up our team will be the unremarkable civilians working at Pegasus.
It's hilarious. They call them the unremarkable civilians just whenever they see them out of costume because they still have secret identities.
They have secret identities in this, which I thought was a nice touch. Because,
but
from what I've seen,
even then they use use it as a joke.
Yeah,
with Signal Man particularly, like he doesn't know that the Power Rangers are these people.
Yeah.
To apparently, like just to the monsters and to Signal Man and everybody else, they just look like that.
Yeah.
Like they're these bright, colorful creatures with.
The Rangers.
That's not a helmet.
That's what they look like.
That's what they look like.
Yeah. Which makes sense given the type of universe we're in.
But again, it's a joke.
Yeah.
And I think it's funny.
Well, because it comes into play later. One of the monsters finds out who they are, and he's trying to tell.
He's like
Zomuda, and he's like, "No, they have secret identities. I know who these people are." He's like, "What are you talking about? They don't have secret identities."
They just look.
It's great. I love it.
It's great. One of my favorite moments was when Minoru, the Green Ranger. He has a Antonio moment where he gets super afraid of electricity. It was electricity was what it was, and he remembers a time in his childhood when he caught an eel in a river and got electrocuted, and that's what made him afraid of electricity.
Yeah,
and that stuff's pretty funny. But at the end of the episode, they straight up just do the samurai thing where Dapu makes him eat a bit of eel, and you're cured, and he sends him out into battle, and Minoru's got this huge boost of energy. He's got this fighting comeback. The theme song, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, he goes, "You can't stop me. I ate the electric eel." And Zelmoda goes, "The hell does that mean?" And it's one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. That immediately made this one of my favorite shows that I've seen in Sentai so far. And for it to be a parody, I think that's a pretty long leap, considering Die Ranger was my first
It helps
Sentai.
that the comedy is really on point most of the time. I don't think there's any joke that really falls every time that they go for the joke, because there's a lot of moments where somebody will do this really deep, meaningful monologue or whatever.
Yeah.
And they'll turn around and find out that the rest of the team is just gone.
They've left. They're doing other stuff.
Yeah. It reminded me a lot of old Looney Tunes comedy. Whenever they're... was it Gnocchi and the princess in that one episode are running from that monster, and they decide to hide in panda costumes.
They do repeated costume changes in that episode, and you're right, it's very Looney Tunes the way they do it. The only thing missing is the theme song. It's really good. It reminded me of that time the thing that happened in Megaforce. With Orion and Emma.
Yeah. Except this was done a lot better.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this one, it's supposed to be a joke.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a joke. It's not supposed to be wasting time. So.
Right, yeah. It doesn't feel like filler.
Yeah.
This is what the plot is for this episode.
Yeah.
I also don't feel like that's a thing. We don't waste a lot of time.
No,
aside from, telling the jokes,
Yeah.
Making the trope references and stuff. We need the giant robots and stuff like that.
Yeah. I still because we have Signalman's the first one to show up out of the 6 Rangers, right?
Yeah,
and comes from this planet. I forget why he's even there. He shows up because he's trying to
uphold
galactic
the laws of
traffic safety.
That's what he says.
Uphold the laws of traffic safety. Yeah. Basically, he's got a police box that he puts random.
He's got
places.
a TARDIS.
He puts random places and he just stands in front of it. Nobody ever shows up. He's supposed to be. He's supposed to be on patrol.
The Rangers are fighting something somewhere else, and he's standing in the middle of nowhere. Man, there's nobody around here. It's really safe. I'm doing a great job. It's you're in the middle of nowhere, dude.
The joke with him is supposed to be because he's the absolute worst.
Yeah,
he's superhero.
He's useless.
It's just hilarious.
He might be an antagonist in the show.
Yeah, because he's constantly just trying to get in the way.
Only to inconvenience the Rangers.
Yeah.
That's his sole purpose.
Yeah.
In the show, and then he leaves.
Yeah.
Oh wait, hold up. His beef with Dynamo is that Dynamo's pissed that he didn't get a ticket from that guy. He let him off with a warning.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
He pulled him over and let him off with a warning because he wanted some street cred. I got this ticket.
from Space Cops. But he didn't give it to him.
Yeah,
so he's just like,
so he's like offended that he didn't
you.
get this ticket. And I think that's hilarious.
Yeah.
But later on into the show, Signalman has to leave because he's really homesick. His kid's going to have a sports day event.
Yeah. At his school.
Yeah, at his school or something.
And they need to do a 3-legged race.
Yeah.
They put a lot of emphasis on this 3-legged race thing.
Yeah, it's a really meaningful thing. I'm not sure why. I get it. But it's so ridiculous, the premise.
Well, because it helps that they just keep cutting back to that one flashback fantasy of them doing the 3-legged race.
Yeah.
And they always keep talking about this 3-legged race. Yeah.
Over and over again.
And so he has to deal with...
Signalman has a signal wife and a signal boy.
Yeah.
And
we eventually see them on Earth.
Yeah, the Signalmans.
It's weird.
They need their own show.
Yeah.
I will watch the hell out of
Back
that.
on the Signalmans.
Immediately after following the Flower Rangers.
Yeah.
On the CW.
Oh, man. I don't think... Well, maybe.
Probably not.
But, so yeah, he leaves eventually because he goes through this whole arc of trying to figure out if he should leave because he's got these responsibilities.
Yeah.
But the Rangers got it, so he's going to go ahead and leave.
Yeah.
He then
initially doesn't trust them to deal with it because he thinks they're ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, because he doesn't...
That's the joke.
Because everything that anybody ever does, like as far as the Rangers, the monsters, anybody does anything, he always comes back with, you don't have my permission. You're not authorized
to do that stuff.
Yeah.
Do you have a permit?
How dare you grow without
Where's
my
your
permission?
papers and stuff?
Yeah.
Are you a citizen? We never go that far.
Yeah. It's pretty great.
Yeah.
And so he leaves, and then...
the Verve Master comes down.
Well, no, because what happens is Dapu goes into hibernation randomly.
Yeah.
It just happens.
Falls asleep. It's weird.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, man, I've been falling asleep a lot. And I noticed it prior to the episode where we focus on it. I was like, every time the alarm goes off, that dude's asleep. And I thought it was a joke. Like, that was his sole purpose, was to yell at the Rangers when the alarm went off, even though the alarm's going off.
Yeah.
I
mean,
crime
that's
alert.
Thing. Yeah. There was a biker gang's happening.
As it turns out,
yeah,
he actually had to go into hibernation for whatever reason.
Yeah. And alien race.
Yeah.
That's all we got.
So the Rangers end up getting just completely decimated without him. They can't call the Megazords.
They get Megazord jacked is what happens.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because they get their Megazord taken by the biker gang. I forget why. I think they have like a dragon or something that takes the thing. Whatever. Yeah. So they're without Zords.
Was that the 3 Zord thing?
What?
The Earth, Wind, and Fire?
No.
Earth, Water,
that
Fire?
Comes in later. Yeah. No, I know what the land, sea, and air thing. Yeah, no, that comes in later.
Oh, okay.
No, there's a dragon that takes the thing and he just flies off with it.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that's right.
And so they're trying to figure out what to do, and then there's this guy who shows up, Lone Wolf of the Cosmos.
Lone Wolf of the Cosmos, the Ghost Rider.
The VRV Master.
Yeah.
And he's the
Phantom Ranger,
the future. Who was used a lot more in the show than I thought he was going to be.
Given the footage.
Like, man, it's hilarious because he's just basically your run-of-the-mill mysterious anime character. And he's totally out of a different show. It's really funny.
He's in his own show. Like, that guy should be in Kamen Rider or something. Yeah. Fighting actual monsters, but instead he took a pit stop at Carranger.
Yeah. And so he gives the Rangers new Zords, the Rescue Zords, that's where those come from.
Yeah, the Rescue Zords.
And then he basically, before he leaves, he tells Kyosuke, he says, you're supposed to be the leader of this team, whatever. Yeah. And then that leads into a whole thing with him,
and then,
where he's trying to deal with the responsibility of being a leader, and he's like, I should be the leader. Yeah. And so he just goes around,
and he's like, I'm the leader.
Yeah, he just starts yelling leader and just beating the crap out of the foot
Everybody
soldiers.
Needs me to be the leader.
And he's like trying to protect the team. Oh, you're safe now, huh?
Yeah.
And he just runs off.
Are you okay? I'm the leader. Yeah. I got this.
It's great. What's funny about that is that like it's played for a joke, but it's really good character development, and also leads to one of the best scenes in Turbo. Whenever TJ goes to the Zord and where they're fighting on the Megazord, so that he can remove the controller and get it back.
The battery pack thing, yeah. Explosives.
But it's just really funny to me that's where that came from.
That episode.
Yeah. And so then...
It's wild, this show.
Well, so one of the big major threats one of the big major threads associated with this entire series is that Zonnet falls in love with the Red Ranger.
Yeah.
It's a really random thing.
It's a subplot that really carries itself through the show. Like, at first when it happens, it's like a joke, right?
Yeah.
Because, again, that's just what she thinks that guy looks like.
Yeah.
And that's hilarious in and of itself.
Well, because she's just watching him one day, and he's like, man, he's really tough, and he knows how to fight. He's cute, I like him. And then... Like, she goes down there and he's like, we should be together. And he's like, I don't think that...
But you're a villain.
Should happen. We can be friends, though.
Yeah.
And then she's like, nah.
Screw that.
And
I will swear vengeance on the Red Ranger or some shit.
And it's all this big thing. She goes to the store and buys this romance book. She's constantly reading the book. It's really funny.
Yeah.
And then we basically find out later she's a princess.
Yeah.
And she's
related
actually...
to the White Ranger... Who was our 3rd, 6th Ranger coming down.
Well, because So the White Ranger just shows up. She literally just drives down.
She shows up in her cat car.
Yeah, the cat car.
And is like, I'm the 6th car ranger. And everybody's like, what? We already have one of those. In fact, we had 2 of those already.
And she does the whole thing. She's got a wand.
Yeah, she's got a wand. She does the morph. And she's got her own, like, Sailor Moon style turbo dress. It's cool. You know?
Yeah, and plus she's got the car can turn into a robot.
Because of course
and grow giants.
Yeah.
And again, I just don't know why you don't use any of this stuff.
I don't think you could pull off Cat Megazord in America.
I think
at the time, I think it was a kind of boy-centric thing, and that's a very girl power thing to have.
I don't know.
At the time, I'm gonna say at the time.
Well, because Power Rangers has usually been pretty ahead of the curve when it comes to stuff like that. Because they still, they were the first people to introduce like the female Rangers. In terms of adapting Zoo Rangers. So,
well, I meant just for their audience. Like this was an action show. You don't necessarily associate this show.
I would believe it more that it looks goofier than that they just did it because it looks like it's a girly thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Cat Megazord.
Because they had female White Ranger.
Yeah, they also had a female leader eventually. Yeah. But that was eventually.
Well, yeah.
This was their 3rd shot at it.
I guess, I suppose.
And they were trying real hard to stick to the formula. The thing that made it work. Put Tommy at the forefront.
Yeah, but he
give him a monster every week.
He left halfway through. It doesn't make any sense.
I know.
But anyway, so
I do like the show.
He eventually gives her this love diary. He's like, we should exchange this diary.
Yeah. Exchange diary. Which
she just takes it with her.
Yeah, Japanese thing I'm not aware of.
And she's like, nah, we don't need to be friends or whatever.
Yeah.
She goes back to the base in space.
Yeah.
And eventually, she decides that she's going to help out the Car Rangers. And because this other guy shows up, is it the Lord Exhaust?
Yeah, Lord Exhaust.
Who I guess is like the ultimate evil compared to the Car Ranger. Because he's just a giant dude floating in space.
Yeah.
Which they did actually
Judge Doom is his plan. His evil plan is to build a space highway.
Yeah.
Intergalactic space highway. Where speeding is encouraged.
Yeah.
And
where bad driving is encouraged. Yeah. And you just cause a lot of problems.
And a lot of damages. That's a lot of damage. But it's just so crazy.
Yeah.
Again, the premises are just nuts, but they follow through with all the ideas. Like they don't halfway through go, well, I'm secretly blah 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 blah, and this was all a ruse,
Oh,
take me serious. All of a sudden, they really don't pull the punches with stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
They don't take away from Exhaust like his intergalactic highway plan is really what we focus on.
What I liked about him was that he always sounded like he knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
But every plan that he comes up with is totally random and separate from everything else.
Yeah.
Because he's like, let's...
totally forgot to mention the Maestro guy.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember what they called him.
Oh.
Hitchhiker.
Yeah, Rich Hiker.
Rich Hiker.
Was it the villainy consultant?
Yeah, the villain consultant.
I love that guy, man. Yeah. It's great.
He also had that issue where he was like, well, we're going to send down this wasp creature to fight the Rangers. And... Well, because they get a time machine to come back here and rescue us.
No,
there's just random stuff that happens like that.
That's not what happens. What I thought was funny about that was we introduced the what is it? I'm trying to think what they are.
What's that?
Storm Blaster and Lightning Cruiser into this show.
The Pegasus Thunder and the Dragon Rider.
Yes,
that's what it is.
That's what they are. Good. I didn't have one.
Read, Nick. Sorry.
Pegasus Thunder and Dragon Cruiser.
Yeah, Dragon Cruiser.
It's weird. But what's funny about because he's basically just sitting on the toilet and he's reading a book.
Yeah.
Because he's got a book.
He's always got this book.
Yeah, and he looks through it and he's like, aha, there's these cars and whatever.
In space.
That's our next plan is to get these cars.
Yeah.
So they try to get the cars, but they end up with the Rangers. And that's really fun.
Yeah.
Eventually, they try to kidnap a boy, and they're gonna sacrifice him.
Oh yeah, we do have a side character. Child.
Basically, they're gonna have him absorb all this evil energy at this one point in time where the planets align, I guess.
Yeah.
And once his body absorbs it, they're just gonna chop him up and eat him.
That's the plan.
That's the plan.
Yeah.
But what ends up happening is that Signal Man intervenes and Rich Hiker's the one who gets struck by lightning. It's really comical, and he's all charred up.
Yeah.
But it basically accelerates his intelligence, and so he starts coming up with these evil plans.
Yeah, these evil plans. Yeah, and this is the beginning of where we take a break, from the comedy stuff.
Yeah.
To do real storytelling stuff. And again, I don't know if you can make me care halfway. I'll laugh at your jokes, definitely. But if Teen Titans Go brought back Slade halfway through season 1, and
it's not the same thing. You want to know what this is closer to? The night begins to shine.
Why?
Really?
Yeah, why?
They took a 5-episode hiatus from the comedy to tell an actual story, and you don't see the parallels.
4 episode, and it's not an actual story.
You don't see the parallels.
Plus,
you really don't see the parallels.
It's fourth.
They don't make a joke. I mean, yeah, the fourth walls and references and whatever.
We have actual,
but when we're characters in the actual dimension, we're fully serious about this whole thing. So I just don't understand how you can say that it's not that Teen Titans Go never got serious.
Well, I'm saying if it tried to tell me everything that we were doing, you actually have to take it seriously.
I'm pretty sure that's going to be the case in the movie when you go see it.
We'll find out in the next Power Chamber podcast. Wow, we had a lot to say about this show.
You go see it.
I'm going to go see it on later because it's going to come out in 2 weeks.
I'm not going to see it.
2 weeks from now.
I refuse. But yeah, eventually the biker gang decides, because what happens is that Exhaust, he gets one up on the Rangers. Because he absorbs the constellations. Because randomly, they just lose their powers.
Yeah.
It's just a random thing. So he just absorbs the constellations. They can't morph anymore. So he's like, I'm Victory. Now, Biker Gang, your base is going to be the garbage dump of the universe. And they're like, hey, you can't do that. It's like, I'll bet you I can. And so they basically go to Earth and they join forces with the Rangers who just abandoned them on Earth to fly their base into Exhaust and get their powers back. It's really random and it's hilarious. But they get their powers and then they go up against Exhaust because he's still alive. What's hilarious about it is that I thought, because in Turbo, they play it totally straight. They're trying to fight this giant monster who's bigger than the Megazords, and it leads to the Megazords getting destroyed.
Right.
And the way that they destroy the way that they defeat the monster is that TJ uses their big mega weapon and just shoves it down the thing's throat, and it explodes.
Oh, okay.
What happens in this show is that Dynamo has... So all throughout the series, in order to make the monsters grow, they're eating this like candy or tofu.
Yeah, I think it's tofu.
And basically, whenever Dynamo meets face to face with Exhaust on Earth, he's like, "All right, now it's my time. I'm taking you out." And he takes the thing. He grows giant. And it's like a big triumphant moment. They're like, "Oh my god, I didn't know you were so brave." And then all of a sudden, he just deflates.
Yeah.
Shrinks back down again because it had gone bad.
Yeah, it had expired.
So he can't fight anymore. But what he ends up doing is he takes the expired package, he throws it at Exhaust. He eats it, shrinks him down, and they're able to defeat him.
Wow. Yes.
Again, totally ridiculous, and they totally played it straight when they adapted it for Power Rangers.
Yeah. We did have a couple episodes that focused on the tofu aspect. That, again, they were ridiculous and insane. That was our Pink Ranger romance episode for the season, because we always have to have one of those. We always have to have one of those.
I don't know. Did O Ranger have one?
I don't remember.
I mean, I guess we had one with Kaku Ranger, because there was that one episode where the Yellow Ranger was like, "I like you."
Oh,
but that didn't
but
really
we
go
didn't
anywhere.
have a Pink Ranger for Kaku Ranger, so that's different.
Well,
I'm just saying.
I still think the best one is with Lynn at the end and Die Ranger.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Die Ranger's the best.
But
I'm sorry, it's a really high bar.
This was a fun show.
A fun ride from start to finish.
It's always keeping pace, always keeping the energy up.
Yeah, that was the thing. Like, everybody gives 100%. You see it on screen. Like, they're having so much fun, and they the conviction. That's what I'm getting at. They don't just go knock knock. They follow through with the joke.
Yeah,
and they know it's a joke. Yeah. That's the other thing. They're very aware.
They're not at any point trying to be like too dead serious to where it's like gets formulaic. Yeah, because almost every episode is different in terms of like the plans that they come up with, and some of them are kind of ridiculous. There's a point where Dynamo's like, "Man, that rich hacker guy trying to make us all smart, and look where it got us. We need to be stupid again.
Stupid and reckless. Long live the biker gang."
He takes the pole, finds the stupidest guy in the room, and is like, "Go fight the Rangers."
Yeah,
it's great.
That's what I call a real idiot.
But I'm interested to see what happens now that we go into Mega Ranger. Yeah, which we haven't started yet.
Not yet.
But it'll be interesting because Space is my favorite season of this show.
We know quite a bit about Space,
so it'll be weird to kind of compare them because I know that they're different.
Right. And there's a lot of original footage that we haven't seen.
There is a lot of original footage associated with
the adaptation.
Yeah.
And a lot of footage that's lost and stuff that we saw that's not in there. So it'll be fun to dissect that show. For the first season that I've seen that I actually know what the hell.
Yeah, because you didn't watch.
I didn't watch Zeo Ranger with you.
No, you didn't. Die Ranger was good.
Die Ranger was beast.
But that was an entirely different thing.
Yeah, apparently I still haven't seen. I walked in on the wrong Sentai. Like, no, this is not what this show is. Don't let them lie to you.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't know that either. Because that's only the second one I'd seen. Or second full one, rather. Yeah.
So, next time, Mega Ranger. Yeah. And we're counting down the days, man. 4 weeks to Power Morphicon in Anaheim, California. I'm very excited. Got everything situated and ready to go.
I wonder if we're going to meet any of the Sentai actors that will be familiar.
Maybe. We'll have to actually watch.
Because I know they had some of those last year. I think the Red Die Ranger was there the last time.
Oh yeah,
we didn't get to meet him.
That's probably true. Yeah, I mean,
I blame you.
We met a bunch of people though. We met everybody else.
We did meet a bunch of people. So we might actually meet a bunch of people.
Still one of my favorite moments in history. Man. Yeah, absolutely. But anyway, we had a lot to say about Carranger, but it was fun. Yeah. So we'll tune into
enjoyable ride
and see what happens. We got a lot of free time now that we're not watching Raw. So
just gotta throw in that jab in there. Huh?
Yes, absolutely. Giant middle finger.
They're probably not gonna see this.
Yeah, I know. Trust me.
But anyway, thanks for joining us on the Power Chamber podcast.
I'm Ice Chip Andy.
And I'm Nick, a.k.a. Iron Man 1993. May the power chamber protect you.